All right, back at it another day. We had a bit of a tornado watch and warning this morning, nice and early, but we're back at it now. Anyway, yesterday after we shut the camera off, Bill and I got to finishing up one side of the motor with the coils and the bracket, getting everything cleaned up, so we're going to do it all again here too. What I like to do with these, actually these aren't even the coils that I bought that came with the motor. They didn't come with any coils, so grab these used on eBay. They tested fine, they work, but they're gross. So they're probably pretty high miles. That's fine. So all I usually do is just go through and we'll pull the wire harness off of the bracket. This bracket actually holds it onto the valve cover very nicely. It's nice and clean, but you can see these need a once over. The harness is in fine shape, it's just dirty, so we'll go through and clean all that up. And the first thing to do is unplug the coils like I have. The nice thing about these coils is that you have a single wire that comes off the harness, and all four per side are instantly wired and hot. I did make a mistake on my last swap build in the white truck, and I wired the coils backwards, so I was getting funny firing order. Lesson learned. So 10 mil bolts, pop each of the coils off, and I'll hand the coils to Bill and he'll start cleaning them up. You got to be careful cleaning the coils up. You don't want to submerge them. We obviously can't just run these things through the ultrasonic cleaner, but he's going to just hit them with a brush and some glass cleaner. The glass cleaner is right up there, Bill, in that cabinet. Yep. So then we'll go through and he'll wire wheel these where they need to be. Like this one's here pretty crusty. So then we tape them off, paint the coil itself black, and off we go. So Bill will take those, and then I'm going to get the harness off of the bracket. Do the same thing. I'll take this to the parts washer, clean it up, and then we'll pop it on. Also, there's extra stuff on here for stuff that we've removed, so we don't really even need these little vacuum line brackets. So there's only one on this one, there's two on the other side. Anyway, they come off, but these things are just covered in road grime and everything else. So we'll pop the harness off, get it clean. Might have to paint this one, a little bit of rust on it, but then we'll reassemble. So it's really as simple as just popping these little tabs off. The harness just comes right off, except for this. I'm probably going to need a screwdriver to pop this one off if I don't break it. Yeah, I'm going to grab a screwdriver and take that off. So there's just a metal clip that holds this on there. She pops off, and that's it. Now as long as we put this back on exactly the same way, I'm not really going to go super crazy with these. I'm going to have to retape some of these because they have cloth tape, and that's what keeps the harness affixed to the bracket. So anyway, we'll just retape all those as we need to after I get this all cleaned up. So I'm gonna hit these in the parts washer and we'll be back at it shortly to reassemble. All right, Bill's wrapping up those the one last coil. These cleaned up real nice. They don't really need paint, which is great. And then this guy, he got painted, so we'll let it dry up. Meantime, I got the harness pretty clean. The bracket's clean. I thought it might need some paint, but that's on the back side. I'm not too worried about it. So this is the front. This guy clips over here again. like that. Bit of a pain to get back down on there, but he does fit. We know that because we pulled it off. There it goes. All right, now this one went here. Somebody already made a repair there once with a zip tie, that's fine. And then this goes back in here. This one goes back in here. And there was one more, but I'm not sure where it went. Hey Bill, would you mind just hitting this top part again for me?
Yep.
Thanks. These are good. Oh, it was right here, I guess. But I'm actually, yeah, I guess I'll put it back on there. No, it's fine. All right, so next, we just pop these back on, but I have new bolts. No sense cleaning these up. You can, but I just like to use new stainless hardware.
How's the other one look?
They're good. Yeah, they're good, thanks.
Extra schmutz on that.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, cooperate here. These brackets, they're really nice. A lot of guys don't like them, and they'll try to make the LS stuff look old, like a small block, and they'll put, you know, covers over top of the coils and all that. But I like to put a cover on the intake. I'm not trying to make huge power here, so we're not going to use an aftermarket intake. That's fine. We just snap her back together using the factory stuff and just make it look like factory. That's the plan. So let's see if this is at all dry. It's probably dry enough. Peel the tape. Perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 4 bolts. I have a 5th one somewhere. All right, let's move back over to the truck. I think everything here is good. Okay, so we got our coil pack. We got to be careful. This one's still a little wet. Oh, could you grab the impact?
Impact.
And we'll just pop this guy back on here. Start with 1. Thank you.
It's ready.
2. You want to hand me the 90-degree impact there on the ground?
You got the thingy?
Yeah. Four, and I'll go and get another bolt, but anyway, it's on there, so I think we can throw our
arm up, and then we'll throw the bolt in later?
Yeah, it's fine. So when you buy these Speed Engineering headers, I highly recommend also grabbing the coil wires from them because they go around the headers quite nicely. We did put the plugs in last night, as well, so that's already done. But they have the right angle to keep them away from the header. It's the same ones that I'm using on the white truck from that build, so I know that they work really well.
Nice quality, real heavy. Nice ends.
In fact, the white truck, actually, one of the wires is on the header, but it's holding up fine. All right, that's it. That's simple. So next step for us, I got to grab that one bolt, but the next step for us will be to get our wire harness in here so I can see where I want to pop the hole through the floor. Quite honestly, I don't know if I'm going to get to that today or not, but we also mocked up what I'm going to do. You want to grab that cover?
Yeah.
We mocked up here what we were going to do. I put my map sensor in the back. We actually had to take the intake off like 3 times because that map sensor was broken from the junkyard, and when I tried to get it out, it fell in. So yeah, we've had this thing off and on a lot. But thank God it's an LS and not a small block Chevy, because
Simple.
yeah, O-rings, no sealant. So anyway, do you want to throw that just on there for now? That's kind of what she'll look like when everything's kind of,
Similar.
yeah, it's missing the bracket on the back. But anyway, it just cleans it up real good. I'm not worried about hiding the coils and all that other nonsense like a lot of guys do. So it's all good.
Good job. Clean.
So I'm going to grab the last bolt, and we may or may not turn the camera back on. I don't know. I'm tired today. All right. Bill's brushing his teeth in the RV out there. He left his microphone on. He forgot that he left his microphone on. I thought he was in the RV, he's in the house. Well, they sure sound clean.
I thought maybe you'd hear the rustling of bits of bacon and cheese and egg in there, but I feel a lot better now. I hope nobody looked at my teeth and saw yellow, because they weren't brushed this morning. But my wife took care of that and fixed me up.
Well, now that Bill's brushed his teeth, we're gonna get on the harness here. I wasn't feeling like it, but he's making me. So here we are. I guess there's no time like the present.
Well, we're getting started, because that way when I leave, we already have it started, so he'll know where he has to go, and he'll be running down here and putting bits and pieces on while I'm gone till I get back here.
So it looks like a mess, but it's actually quite simple. The harnesses that I use have this grommet right here, and the white truck had a hole in the firewall, I think for cruise control or something else. Anyway, oh no, it was, yeah, I forget. But anyway, that was easy because it was exactly the size of this hole. I do not want to drill a hole in this firewall, especially one this big. So I think I'm going to try to go up through the trans tunnel. But that's what we have to figure out now. And I'm pretty sure we have plenty of room here, because really all I need to do is get underneath the seat and have like about this much under the seat. So that leaves me with pretty much all of this to get up the trans tunnel.
We got to feed all this down through
Yeah,
the hole
yeah.
out front.
So what we're going to do is actually put the truck up in the air. And then, I don't know, well, I think we'll feed that up from the bottom actually, because this is a lot bulkier.
But it's going to have to come through the hole from
Yeah, that's
inside
the
the
thing.
cab.
All
down
that has
through.
to come
Yes,
through.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. So, but at least we can measure this
Yes,
out.
we'll know where we're
Yeah.
headed.
Because ideally, I just drill a hole into the seat, pop this all into the seat instead of under the dash, and it's just clean. I hate having the computer underneath the hood. It's ugly. There's just wires everywhere that don't need to be anywhere.
In the weather, the heat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the computer's lived there its whole life, but it's just so much cleaner when all you see is the wires coming to the engine and then they disappear and they're gone. I'll clean all the bulkhead wiring up that's here already from the factory because a lot of that just goes away too. But anyway, let's get this thing up in the air and we'll feed that up and then see where we want to go with this.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yep.
Let's start with that. And what I'll do is go underneath. I'll get you a ladder. Whoa.
Yep.
I'll get you a ladder. You can stand in the
Sounds
front.
good. You take the creeper, I'll hand this to you.
Yep.
When you get on the creeper, and you can shoot it up to me. I may have to move around to the side here. Just watch your feet. I'm coming around to the side.
Okay.
That way I can reach down in further and try to help you a little more.
I'm gonna just hand these up right here.
Yep.
Can you see them?
Yes, sir.
Got them?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and gently pull on that.
Hold on. Get those little pigtails up through here. Okay.
So if you look at this loom, at this harness rather, it's split into two. And it's super obvious and easy to tell because you've got 4 injector plugs on this side, 1 coil plug, 4 injector plugs on that side, 1 coil plug, and then you've got your mass airflow, your throttle position sensor, you've got all that stuff. And then on the left side, you've got all your battery cables. Here, these go down to the starter. So super easy to figure that all out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 injectors, which we don't have injectors in right now, so that's fine. Really, we just droop those off the side, and then that big honking valve wire harness can go down past the valve cover. This is the O2 sensor. These go down to the starter. So all that goes down there too. So it pretty much is going to land right where it is. This is the coil plug.
I'm just going to drape that right on the master cylinder there.
Yep. And what
In
I'll
case
do
kind of
is-
out of the way.
All right. Sounded like an arc, but it's not because there's no battery
Clip.
hooked up. 1,
Clip.
2, 3, 4 injectors. Okay. Harness is basically where it belongs now. So I feel good about that.
It really is simpler than when you're holding the whole thing in your hands and looking at it because it just fits in. Everything has its own plug in and it's pretty straightforward out here.
Here's the other funny thing about some of these trucks versus cars and some other things is that, oh, here's the temperature sending.
Oh,
So
yes.
that'll go here. I'm not worried about it now, but it does go
Yep.
there. Some cars and trucks have split mass airflow and air intake temperature. And most of these harnesses, the cheap ones like this one, 110 bucks, how can you go wrong? But some of these cheap harnesses split them. So I've got mass air with 3 wires and intake air temperature with 2 wires on the white truck, and my mass airflow sensor has 5 wires. So it's the mass airflow and the intake air temp sender inside of the mass airflow, so it's combined into one unit. I could split them and use a different MAF, whatever. So I'm just going to use the same MAF, the factory MAF, and then you can either cut off the 5-wire pins from the factory harness, and combine them, or get an adapter. On the white truck, I combined them into a single plug, cleaned it all up, soldered them, did the whole deal. On this truck, I got an adapter. What was it, $6?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
So
two into one,
Yeah.
1 and 5 pin into 5 pin.
right, and it's extra plugs, and it's no, it doesn't look near as nice as what's in there, but I can get it looking pretty nice. And everything should be so cleaned up anyway because I'm tucking everything, and it'll be underneath the intake cover. So not that worried about it. So yeah, the only thing I might have to do if I have to extend these because they are in 2 different spots and they have to go to the same spot.
Right.
If I have to extend these, then I'll just get the right plug and do it that way. And quite frankly, the right plug will come off of that $6 adapter that I bought.
Right.
Because when we looked up that single pigtail last night, O'Reilly's and Advanced one had like $90.
It's $86 or something, yeah.
For a stupid pigtail plug. So for $6 I got the plug and a whole bunch of other plugs and wire. So we'll figure that out when the time comes. I have the whole intake pipe to use on the white truck. My intake goes to the passenger side. I think I'm going to have to do the same thing with this truck because the battery is here. And in fact, on the white truck, I moved the battery from the passenger side to the driver's side. Don't remember why, but there was a reason. Anyway, it's going to be a very similar setup. So I think I'm probably going to have to rewire these anyway. But again, that's simple. And once you have all the right pieces, I've got the wiring diagram and it'll go together. So let's get this thing up in the air the rest of the way. We'll get up underneath of it and see where we want to route the pieces to get under the seat.
Sounds good.
You know, I could actually fire this truck today if we just wired some stuff up temporary, but we're not going to rush stuff and do things twice because we've done this intake about 6 times.
Just for fun.
I'm tired of it. So you can see we've come down the trans tunnel, across on top of the cross member, and then what we're going to do is pretty much drill a hole right there. I got to go and look under the seat and make sure that's what we want, but we'll drill a hole somewhere around there, and then
For our grommet.
Yep, the grommet will go there, and all the stuff in Bill's hand will be inside under the seat. We'll mount the computer up there. Everything's out of the way. OBD2 port will just be under the seat, and we'll plug in. But this is the first time you guys have had a chance to look underneath the truck. You can see how clean it is. It's a good truck. So I'm going to get up on the ladder, open the door, have a look under the seat, and then we'll measure and drill. There's no carpet under this seat. It stops, I think, short of the seat. So it should be pretty easy. We'll drill up and then file it out, get it cleaned up, a little paint around it, and then pop that whole harness down through again. And then from there, it's all downhill.
You're in here. Hi, buddy.
How's it going?
Terrible.
Look at this rust bucket.
What's going on?
You knew it was rusty, but you didn't know it was this rusty.
Alright, this thing's cool.
That's some needles you gotta get after you step on
Tetanus.
Tetanus shot.
Yeah, I can see it.
Terrible rat rod comes to mind.
Yeah. What year is this? 48?
48 Simca, right?
39. 39 Simca. He's had this car for as long as I can remember, and he's finally getting on it.
That's a turn signal.
Yeah.
They're called semaphore. They would come out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You see the steering wheel?
Man.
Steering wheel is made from crystal. It's made out of crystal.
Almost like clear and pearl.
Yeah.
Was this a vent like the early coupes? The cow?
Yeah.
Vent, air vent?
So you got this side all off.
I thought I did, but here are these 2 bolts under the seat.
This is what Kindig sells now.
Yeah.
See his hidden handle?
This is like a old school Dave Kindig handle, yeah. He just finished this shop up. Came out pretty good. The carport was here, but he put these walls and stuff in the front. And, he put these walls in the front and the back. Epoxy the floor. There was no concrete in here, so he had the concrete poured. And we went and picked up this roll-up door. Needs to get some insulation here. It gets pretty hot, but use the fan to pull some air through. Anyway, we're here. We're going to pull that body off of that car today. He's got, well, that's a big block there, but that's not for this car. I think he's got a couple of motors back in that shed there, and 2 Cosworth Vega motors. We'll throw one in there. I don't know what he's doing for transmission, but little rat rod. And then he's got this cool little mouse boat. They use these Disney World. And he got this, I think he picked this up in Ohio. It runs, but just needs to be finished and gone through and get her on the water. So anyway, thought I'd bring you guys along. Check out this cool Simca. It's from England, France. It's a French car. And it's one of like 3 known to even exist in the country. Maybe even one less than 10 in the whole world. And the only way this car got back here was after the war. A GI brought it back in a container or on a boat, and I mean, there was no other way to get them here. They never imported them, so he had to have brought it back. And he found it somewhere, and it's rotten, but it's cool. Nobody has one, so it should be pretty neat when it's done. All right, we got a 2 1/4 hole saw. Was up in the top, and made sure that we had plenty of clearance here. Nothing was going to get hit, and this is under the seat. So we have the harness run just temporary, so we can make sure it was going to be long enough, and it's plenty long enough. So I'm going to drill actually back here, and we were going to go here, but I'm going to go back here a bit. And then we got to pull the whole harness out and then feed it through the hole and back out, because this massive stuff, if this giant fuse box wasn't here, we'd be able to squeeze these up there, but
yep.
That's not going to happen.
Nope.
So we got to do it the other way.
It's all good.
Anywho, watch your eyes.
Safety glasses, good idea.
It's a good idea.
Yes, it is. Careful.
Oh, no. Yeah. About that.
It's cutting, right?
No, not really. A little
Isn't
bit.
it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Is that variable speed? I would try a slow cut, because with that diameter, you got a lot of surface speed.
yeah.
Run it on slow. Don't let Yep.
There we go.
bigger the bit you get, the slower you want to go, because the surface speed out there is quick and you end up chattering. That did a good job though.
Yeah. Did a good job putting metal shavings all over me.
Absolutely. We're both Metal Flake masters of metal.
Okay. I'm just going to hit that with a file and
Absolutely.
we'll jam it up there.
That's it. Always check and see if something's razor sharp with your fingers.
That's fine.
Looks good.
Yep.
We do not want to strip any of these wires, putting them down through. That would not be good.
Ouch.
Right there.
Yep, I'm good.
Good deal.
Hit this with a little blue paint. Good enough. Now we'll let it dry.
Perfect match too.
Well, they don't call it Duplicolor for nothing. All right, we're gonna let that dry and
We gotta let this thing down and then
pull it all through.
pull it all through.
We're dry, so I'm gonna go up top. Bill will hand me the harness from the top. I'll coil it down. If you just want to get it down here, and then we can route it
Then
up.
we'll go up.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir. All right.
Hold on. Okay. The cable for the seat adjustment's in my way.
Sure it is. We want to be careful coming down through the hole, even though we cleaned it out, filed it, and painted it. I don't want to, scrape any of this tape off. Or
Hey, could you hand me a light?
you need a light?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, buddy.
This one's got to come next.
Pull one piece at a time here. One connector at a time.
Hang on, I'm stuck on something. There we go.
Going good, bud.
Yep.
Just got to make sure none of these edges catch on top. We don't want to tug on any of these wires too hard.
Hang on.
Of course, rip at anything. And they have seals on them, so we don't want to tear any of those either.
One second.
Uh-huh.
Definitely getting tighter.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. I'll just take these down this way.
All right, take the small ones.
Good.
That is it, man.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to put the grommet in until we know how much we need to pull in or out,
That's right.
but I'll give you a lot more. That's it.
Perfect. Okay.
Got that?
Yes, sir. Got it.
All right, you can just let that hang down.
Yep.
Then I got 1, 2, 3, 4 injectors, coil packs plugged back in. Gold City, my
Nice,
friend.
Nice, nice.
Yep. All right, I'll come back down. And by the way, we use these giant lift jack stands, especially for this truck because it's so long. And I'm climbing in and out of the passenger cabin, and I'm climbing in and out from underneath the engine compartment. Bill's standing underneath of it. You know, some people might say we're wusses for using them, but I say we're safe.
He just doesn't want me to have to catch it and show off.
Yeah. All right, I'll bring her back down. Down she comes.
I'm gonna go wash my hands. Got them all slimy. Keep the dirt off the new cables. See, with this done, you can come down if you want and hook up 1 or 2 things a day, or 1 thing a day, or
All of it.
yeah, all of it, or see what you need and where things are going to go, and if you want to buy clamps.
Oh, shoot.
And that's definitely a 2-person operation.
Even though I did the last one by myself.
Well, yeah. It makes it a lot
It
easier.
sure
with
does make it a
2
lot easier.
people. That's,
And I appreciate it.
I know you do.
That's it. I mean, we got the harness pulled through. I've got some stuff hooked up. I've got more to hook up. In fact, I need to double check that my map sensor and the cam position sensor are wired correctly because they're the same plug and they're both in the back. So I want to make sure I don't have them swapped. But other than that, the next step for us, not today, but for us, for me this week or whatever, a couple hours here and there this week, I'll get the accessories bolted on the front. I need to order my AC compressor, just get it in there and bolt it up so it's there and
Yep.
already installed. Then I can plumb it and get all that done. But I've got a brand new water pump. Got to clean up the bracket for the alternator and all that stuff. I think I also have I see it from here, a brand new power steering pump. And the reason I may or may not, I don't know, I might just use this one. This wasn't leaking. And this one already supports the Hydro Boost. So I may just use this and put the pulley from that one on this. Haven't decided yet. I also have the factory power steering pump. So
You got your injectors coming?
figure that. The injectors
Fuel
will be
rails
here.
you can do?
We've got once the injectors are in, we can drop, and I think they come tomorrow. I also ordered that test tool for the testing the flow for the injectors, and it will clean them. So that I think is supposed to arrive tomorrow. It's just coming from Florida, actually, not far.
New toy?
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow night I'll grab that and do a quick video. We can test the factory injectors, and I think the other injectors come tomorrow, if not Wednesday. I have to look, but either way, we can check the factory injectors, which will be plenty big enough for what I'm doing. This is just a cam. Like I said, we're not boosting this. There's going to be pleny of fuel. So we'll check those.
Test the new ones too?
We'll test the
for
new
fun,
ones just
yeah.
for fun, for comparison against the factory ones. It's also not just about flow. It's about compatibility. If you got bad injectors or injectors that claim to be something that they're not, then the ECM won't really work well with them. So we'll try it. $50 for $40 for 8 injectors. I don't know. Who knows? we'll see.
Nice to have a couple spares too, just in case.
Yeah, so, and easy to swap in and out. So that's it. I think we made huge progress. Thanks for coming this weekend, Bill.
Absolutely, I love it.
And I think the big thing that's still left is the fuel system. I got to drop the tank that's in here, which like an idiot, I filled with fuel. So I got to get that out. I think I can just do it right from here with a pump. We'll see. If not, it's whatever. We'll drop it, drain it. So I have a new fuel tank. I'm going to use the hard lines that are here, so that's a plus. I've got all the AN fittings to go to the hard line. We'll get them plumbed up to the fuel rails when I get that back on the intake. That's the last big part. Once that's done, I got a little bit of wiring to do on the top. That's probably a day or two here and there tinkering on it. Wrap that up, plumb stuff, and I think if I can get a few hours in this weekend, I think next weekend, we should be able to actually fire the truck.
Yep.
Maybe.
See what it does.
Getting ahead of myself, but if not this coming weekend, the weekend after, I think at a minimum. And I don't know what your
Yeah.
plans are for coming back here again, but
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
so we can just get on it. I
Yeah.
think I'm excited to hear this thing chopping and get a tune on it. I got to call. I use Charles Barber. He does remote tuning. I do need to order a wideband for this actually. You don't necessarily need one, but it certainly helps get the tune dialed in right, especially with the cam. So all that stuff, like there's plenty still that I need to do. I can at least get it running without a tune. It just won't run probably without my foot on the gas. Speaking of the gas, I have to run the new throttle cable. So yeah, certainly plenty of stuff to do. The more I think through it, the more it probably won't be next weekend, but
Well,
maybe
that's
the
fine.
weekend
We
after.
don't rush either because of his work, and I'm 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So we try to make it work for both of us, where we can come and enjoy it and have fun and do a weekend of it. It's what we love to do.
Yep. So we'll just keep chugging away, and I got to edit this video now and get it on so people can check it out and follow along. But other than that, I think we're making great progress.
It looks good. I love it. Take it easy. See you next time.